Hey guys, Coach K from flagfootballhq.com. This will be the first in our X&O series where we walk through some plays, some concepts, and then hopefully you can find something that you like that you can apply to your system and your playbook. So the first one that we're going to go through, or the first concept we're going to go through, is the center out. I don't know if there's a more effective pass play. Most teams that we see in our league are using it. If they're not using it at the beginning, they realize how effective it is by midseason, and they're going to install it themselves. It's really a nice concept for the quarterback. They generally have one, maybe two reads at the most. We do put a second read in our center out concept, but I see a lot of teams just running it with one read. And really, at this level, if you're giving your quarterback more than two reads on a play, you're not necessarily setting them up for success. So we'll kind of walk through this. It is more of a concept, and I'll illustrate that here as we kind of go through this. There's a lot of different things we can do. We can run it out of a lot of different formations. We just run 2 or 3 formations. A lot of times that looks like a lot more formations because of how we can tag things, and again, I'll explain that a little bit more, and we're going to have a whole blog article on tagging. But with that, let's hop into it. One of the real basic setups of this play is formation. In order to run this effectively, you're going to run it out of either twins or trips to one side, and then your center is going to run really a 5 to 7 yard out somewhere in there to that strong side. Now we do something a little bit differently than a lot of other teams do, and that is running this running back on a corner route. It's kind of a secondary option for the quarterback. That's especially effective. We will run this probably somewhere between 4 to 6 to even potentially 8 times a game. I know that sounds like a lot. The way that we're able to disguise it helps us be able to run it that many times. Nevertheless, teams start to key on that center, and what running the running back in that route does is that gives us a secondary option. And really, as you start seeing that safety, you start seeing them potentially double up on that center just because they think they know where it's going. Really, that leaves the running back wide open on the backside. So with that, let's run through this here real quick. You'll see the center. We do a fake handoff to the running back. You don't need to. We do that because we have a pretty effective running game, especially at the first, second, third, fourth grade levels. You're going to have that. But really, again, what you see is that center running that's 5 to 7 yard out. What's really important at this level is you'll see these X and Y receivers. They're really what opens up this play. The play does not work if they do not run their routes correctly, and sometimes, especially for first and second grade kids, it's hard for them to grasp the concept of, we're not going to get the ball in this play because there really is no way they're going to get the ball. I always tell my quarterback if the center and the running back aren't open, throw the ball out of bounds. We don't need to try to improvise. So getting that X and that Y receiver to really run hard across the field to drag the defense with him, because that's really what sets up this entire play. So you'll see that X and the Y dragging hard across the field and then hitting that center on that 5 to 7 yard out, or that running back who sneaks out behind him. Another really important piece with this is you got to coach the running back to get separation from the center. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we talk about separation from the defender, and in this case what I'm talking about is separation in terms of spacing on the field. A lot of times what we'll see is our running back runs this route, and they'll just be 3 or 4 steps or yards behind the center, and that really defeats the purpose of the entire play design, right? Because you're bringing an extra defender to that side of the field, and you're not really giving your quarterback a secondary option. So really teaching them that they should be 15 yards downfield once they get that corner route ran, as opposed to the 5 yards that the center's down the field, and then you're really putting some stress on that defense vertically. So means that we can run that out of really almost any different formation because every route's the same for every position. So here's what we call our spread tight, which is literally where our running back is lining up about an arm's length away from our center, and then our X and our Y again are just over there in their regular twins formation. And it's the exact same concept. Everybody's running the exact same route. Obviously, we don't do the play action on this, but you have a quarterback drop back, hit the center, or hit the running back deep. One coaching note on this is it's fine to have the the quarterback roll out like we kind of have illustrated here. However, against some of your better teams, what you're going to find is the defense is going to naturally roll with that quarterback. So they're going to roll, in this case, to that strong side of the field as they see the quarterback roll out to that side of the field. So a lot of times what you can do, especially if you're only installing 3 passing plays, is you can teach your quarterback to look off some of the defense, look over at that X and Y, and then come back. You can teach them not to roll out. This is not it's not a particularly hard throw for the quarterback, either one of them. So there's a couple different coaching points there on the quarterback. The next one we'll run. It's a trips formation, but we have a couple different tags we use. So one of the tags we use is MAL, which stands for running back motion. And we'll get into an entire blog article on tags. Because I'm coaching 3rd, 4th, 5th grade kids, we tend to tag everything with a Star Wars theme. So for us, Maul, Darth Maul, is our running back motion. So what you'll see here before the play is the running back's going to motion up on the line to create trips. But then again, it's the exact same routes. He's running that corner route 15 yards deep, and our center is running that 5 to 7 yard out with our X and our Y clearing that side of the field. That we use is the spread stack. Stack for us is Skywalker. Skywalker, the S stands for stack. And literally all that is putting the X and the Y in a stack formation on that side of the field. So again, in this play that we've decided to flex out the running back to the other side of the field, everybody's going to run the exact same routes. Quarterback still has 2 reads. His read is the center. That's his first read. If that's not there, he's looking at the running back. And again, if none of that's there, teach him to throw it out of bounds. The nice thing in this particular situation with the running back is assuming that there's not a safety underneath here, which generally that's in the quarterback's line of vision. He can throw that out there where only the running back can catch it. So that's one positive. Is again our trips center out. So but what we've done here is we tag this with Yoda, and Yoda for us at any point is Y motion, white jet motion, I should say. And anytime we do that Yoda, and again we'll get into this more in our tagging article. Anytime we do Yoda, what that means is the Y receiver is going to fake the jet and then just run a go route or a fly route down the field. So we don't get him to run his exact same route. We don't try to confuse it any more than it already is. But really what this does is, you've probably heard about eye discipline before. Specifically in flag football at this age group, that defenders don't have eye discipline, meaning that once that Y receiver starts to go across the field in motion, guess where everybody's eyes? They're going right with him. So here you'll see in the play, we fake the jet. X still runs his route, R runs his route, and our center runs his route. But what we've done now effectively is we've taken, especially if you're in a man-to-man situation, you've taken that person who's defending the Y all the way across the field. If you're in a zone situation, what you've done is you've taken at least this defender right here, along with probably the 2 safeties, and you've had them take at least 2 or 3 steps in that direction. So they're already off. You've given your center and your running back a head start. And then ideally this guy in a zone, and I know this isn't how zones should work. Theoretically, this guy is going to be taught to just stay right here in the zone. Once he sees that X going across the field, his first 4 or 5 steps are going to be this way, and by that time your center's past him. So again, just another effective way to run this. We can run it out of a lot of different formations. I know this you might be saying, well, gosh, these are 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade kids. How do they get this? This might be a little on the complicated side for them, but it really isn't. What gets complicated is when they have to do this for 5, 6, 7, 8 different passing plays that you might be trying to install. We ran 3 passing plays last year. We'll put a 4th in this year, and that's really all we're going to ask them to know. That's all the quarterback's going to know to read. Depending on how you run your team, players might have positions, they might not have positions. If they have positions, that's great. They know what the X does every single time on center out. So that's our first X&O talk. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave some comments in the comment box, and hopefully we see you again soon.